Hi there, I'm Luke with Hamilton RV. I'll be doing a demo of the 270B8 Zinger Light. Starting right here, we have the hole for the manual crank. If you look inside, I don't know if I can get it in camera. There's a round rod with a roll pin in there that you'll put your manual crank on and manually crank your slide room in if you ever have an issue. This here is your freshwater drain, or I'm sorry, your freshwater tank. If you're going to rustic camp, you'll fill this tank and run off your on-demand pump. Down here, that's your drain for this freshwater tank. It's just the gate valve you pull to dump the tank. There's coax and a power hook up here if you want to put an outside TV up. This here is for your furnace. That's the vent. It is underneath your awning, so just keep that in mind when you're running it, that you don't put tables, chairs up against it, because I've heard some horror stories. Wheel bearings should be repacked every 2 years or 10,000 miles, whatever comes first. Work your way over. This is actually a tank flush valve. So this, when you get to the dump station, you're going to hook your sewer hose up to the dump, and I always recommend a clear fitting on the sewer hose. You're going to pull the black tank, you're going to let it empty. Once that tank is empty, you're going to take the hose that's there, the garden hose you normally rinse your sewer hose out with, you're going to hook it up to this port. And you're going to turn on the water, and that's got a sprayer inside the tank that just sprays and rinses that tank. Once you get clean water coming through the sewer hose, you'll close the black tank off. Obviously, you take the water off here, and you'll pull the gray valve and just let it empty. And the gray tank will kind of actually help rinse your sewer hose and stuff out. This here is the switch for your stabilizing jacks. Now, this will extend and retract. Basically, the way them work, they're stabilizing. They're not meant for leveling, so you'll level off your wheels by laying blocking down on the ground underneath whatever side is low, back onto it, because this will still be attached to your car or truck, whatever. Once you got your side-to-side level with the blocking, then you'll disconnect the tow vehicle, use your power tongue jack to get your front-to-back level. Once that's all set, then you put these stabilizing jacks down just to stop you from rocking and shaking. You should get on your roof 3 times a season to inspect anything that comes through that roof. You got what's called dicor around all the plumbing, vents, anything that comes through that basically. Over time, the sun bakes that product and it gets hard. And you gotta remember, as this thing's traveling down the road, it's rocking and flexing. Eventually, it's gonna crack. Once that happens, clean it with an all-purpose cleaner, let it dry good, and then reapply the dicor product back over top of the old stuff. It'll self-level and fill them holes and voids in. You're also pre-wired for Furion backup camera. That's what that's for right there. The backup cameras are nice because they're an observation camera. They allow you to see what's going on as you travel down the road. So that camera can be on while you travel. You can see what's going on behind you. Also has audio, so when you're backing into your campsite, whoever's guiding you in your site can talk to you through that camera. So it's kind of a nice feature as well. Hot water heater, pressure relief valve. This here's your drain cap that goes down there, down here, tightens up. 1 1/16 socket fits that plastic nut. Just remember, or cap that. Just remember that is just plastic, so don't over tighten it. You want to snug it so it doesn't leak, but that's it. As far as turning this on, it's all done on the inside. There's switches off the monitor panel you'll turn on and off for gas and electric. I don't recommend leaving water in the tank though. If you're done camping, I always recommend draining it. Relieve the pressure first. Once there's nothing coming out here, then it's safe to pull that plug out. You can run gas and electric together. It's perfectly safe. You got an outside shower here, so there's about 4 feet of shower hose, hot and cold line in there. Nothing real special. City water connection here, so if they offer water on site, you can hook into that. You can run off their water pressure that they provide. So I always recommend a water pressure regulator on here. It regulates that water pressure that comes in your camper, so you don't exceed the 50 pounds of water pressure they're rated for. That's your cable satellite input. 30 amp power supply on this unit. That's what this is. Pull the cord out. You got roughly 25 feet of cord that comes over and plugs in. I always recommend extra cord. You can't go wrong being able to plug in. And I'd also recommend an RV surge protector. It's going to protect your whole camper from any kind of a power surge. And there's different models and styles you can get. different price ranges, so it's definitely something I'd highly recommend. You're going to remove this panel to access the back side of your water heater for winterization. I have that wrote down on the sheet inside. I'll kind of go over with you here shortly. Slide out, you got what's a sweep seal, and you got a bulb seal here. I do recommend a spray-on conditioner. It's going to clean, condition, and put a UV protection on them seals. Stops them from drying out and cracking. I would also recommend a slide cover, which is basically an awning that goes over top of that slide room. Stops all the leaves, sticks, nuts, any of that stuff from collecting on that roof. Because if you don't have a slide cover, you need to get up there every time you go to close this and make sure it's swept off so nothing goes through and tears these seals. You know, it's just a flat roof, so whatever lands up there stays there. And if it goes through and tears these, then once it's out, once you're closed, you're no longer sealed. So it's definitely worthwhile looking into. These rails should be lubricated 3 times a season with a slide out lube. This keeps them from squeaking and binding, that kind of thing. You got your gray and black tank, and they're labeled right here. This is where you're going to dump. Gray is on the right, black is on the left, and I already explained how that works. Let's see. You can manually crank them stabilizing jacks up right there at the end. There's a round roll pin in the middle. You can do the same thing with that crank handle that I was telling you works for your stabilizing jack, or for your slide rooms, I'm sorry. In here, it's just a storage compartment. Up front here, you got battery disconnect switch. That'll disconnect the battery from the coach so that the coach don't drain the battery dead. You get about 2 to 3 days, that battery dies all by itself. So if you don't disconnect the battery, that's what will happen, and that just turns to disconnect. Oops. So you got 2 20-pound propane cylinders. Regulator here on the this is gonna point at whatever tank it's drawn from. So this will auto switch as well, and all that means is that both tanks are wide open. It's going to draw from whatever tank it's pointing at first. Once that tank empties, it automatically starts pulling off the other tank. The downfall of that is you don't know when you're running out of propane, so I always recommend 1 tank at a time. This cap will come off the power tongue jack. You can manually crank this up and down. It's got docking lights on it. You can kind of oops. Uh-oh. I don't know what just happened. My little stick here quit holding up. So anyhow, docking light here, on off. Jack will go up and down. And a lot more to show you here. In here we got, and these little clips hold your doors open. This is the manual crank handle that'll use on your power tongue jack, and then this other handle here is going to be for your stabilizing jack and your slide room manual cranks. 30 amp to 110 adapter, 10-foot sewer hose that comes in the convenience kit, and the rest of this is hitch parts. The other switch for your front stabilizing jack.
Band, line 2. Band, line 2.
I'm going to see if this will straighten out, so hold on a second here. We might see if it'll straighten itself out. No? I'm not real sure why it just did that, but I'm sorry about that. Get it straightened out again. Coming on the inside, we have fire extinguisher next to the door. Up here we have pull this door shut so you can hear me better. Battery button, you push this. This just indicates where your battery level is from empty to, or low to, low to charged. Tanks are going to register empty to full. This is a Tanks vary by model. This has one gray tank and one black tank. That's it. You get a water pump, gas, electric switch for your water heaters and red switches up there. These are light switches, slide switches down here, and then this is your awning in and out. And be careful running your awning out. Make sure you only run it. If you hold the button too far out, it will roll itself up backwards. So we don't want to do that. That's not good for the awning. So I'm trying not to do that. We'll come in the bedroom. Light switch. And it's a bedroom here. Bed lifts up. You get storage underneath it. Up here we have antenna booster. And then this is set up for a Wi-Fi booster as well. You get two green lights there. One of them's going to run just the TV and the other one's set up. If you got yourself, I think you have to, I don't know that these come with them, but I think you have to purchase the Wi-Fi extender. Then you'd be able to use that, but you'd have to talk to your salesman. I'm not sure exactly if they come with them or not. I don't think they do though. Radio, power buttons down here. A and B is inside and outside speakers. Other than that, it's just a radio. Up here in this cabinet, radio remote, the bag with all the paperwork that comes in the unit. Stove, oven, you got a sparker for the burners up top and the oven. So the way this works, you'll put this into the little flame symbol, push this knob in, hold it, and then you'll spark it with this until it lights. Once it's lit, you're going to continue to hold that knob for, I don't know, 10-15 seconds. You got to get the thermocouple hot in order for it to stay on. Once that's achieved, then you can adjust it to whatever temp you want. Light switch. Then your fuse panel and breakers are down below that. Carbon monoxide LP detectors next to that down there. That's one of them big causes of a drained battery. Also, this refrigerator, power buttons here. To turn it on, you got to push and hold this for about 5 seconds. And it lights up. Up and down controls for temperature. This is showing you your freezer temp, fridge temp, and in night mode. When you put it on night mode, also, sorry, can't see that. Night mode's the little moon. So basically, night mode shuts down the compressor so it doesn't let it run as often. Same thing to shut it off. Push and hold the button for 5 seconds, it goes back out. Don't know a lot about them refrigerators. 12-volt fridges are kind of a new thing in the industry, so I know they drain the batteries fairly quick. If you're going to do a lot of rustic camping, I would recommend switching yourself out with a couple 6-volt batteries. And you might want to consider even at that point going with solar panels to help keep the batteries topped off. They do work good. They cool down faster than the regular refrigerators, but they just draw the batteries dead quick. You know, you get a day or so off that with a regular battery on the front. So from what I hear, I've never used one myself. So thermostat, temperature control here. Flip it all the way over for cool, all the way over for heat, fans in the middle. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. The fan setting, I like to leave them on auto. That's your fan adjustments. Bathroom, you got a foot pedal on the toilet. Down there, you push down a little bit, puts water in the bowl, you push it all the way, it dumps out. Otherwise, shower. You do have a fan vent combo here. Fan switches over there, flip it on, it turns the fan on, open the vent up. I always recommend with any of them vents, you get yourself a max air cover. The max air covers allow you to let air flow in your camper even when you're not in it. So think of this like a house. Your house has roof vents in it to vent the heat and moisture out of your attic. That does the same thing for your RV. So it helps keep the heat and moisture out. I would recommend a Max Air 2 vent cover on there. And the cool thing with that is it protects the vent lid. I mean, it lets the air flow in. And you leave them open all the time. That's what's cool about it. So, just something I like to recommend. Put the sink stopper back in the sink. Otherwise, I think I pretty much touched on everything in here. So, a few papers to go over here. First things first, everybody gets a 10% off parts card. Thank you very much for the purchase of your RV. present this to them in parts. I'll give you 10% off whatever you buy. This paper here, our phone number up top first and foremost. Any questions or concerns with that, give me a call on it. Or if you're interested in any of the extra add-ons I went around and talked about, you can give me a call at that number as well, 989-752-6262. Again, my name is Luke here at Hamilton RV. I'll make sure I get that stuff taken care of before you pick up. Tire torque, tire pressure. This is just for you guys, so you guys know where all this stuff is. Gray tank is it says kitchen sink, but that's actually kitchen sink and bathroom. I'll write it down there so we don't mix it up. And then gray two and auxiliary or nothing. Green one is your tank. And again, on the back side of this, I always draw this little doodle for everybody. So it shows your summer setup, the way the valve should look. So for summertime, these valves, the way that valve is pointing is the way the valve is open. Okay, so it's open on top and bottom. So cold water comes in the bottom, fills the tank up, comes out hot up top. For winterizing, and yours has a little loop on it. You'll see when you open it up, and it's actually got a diagram right on the tank that tells you how these work. For winterizing, you're going to turn them up and down to go with the bypass. Yours actually has some kind of a goofy loop on it. That's kind of the way they are. This just makes it a little bit easier to explain, or easier for me to draw. Man, I don't know what's up with this gimbal thing. I'm sorry about that. It keeps dropping off on me. So anyhow, for winterizing, you turn them to go with the bypass. By doing that, it allows the antifreeze to go through everything and makes a loop. 2 gallons RV antifreeze for winterization. And that's all done underneath you're actually going to pull that drawer out on the bottom there, and you'll see your water pump and stuff back there. There's one valve on a water pump with a white hose, I believe, white or clear hose, I don't remember on this one, that doesn't have nothing hooked to it. That basically is going to get stuck in a gallon of antifreeze, and it's going to draw the antifreeze through that hose into the camper, all your lines. This sheet here's our virtual demo page. Just kind of gives you, and again, my name's Luke, the day to did your demo, our phone number again. This is just kind of an idea on price list, and prices are fluctuating a lot, so give me a call if you guys are interested in anything. I mean, they're up and down. It just depends on what you purchase. This is just a rough idea. Back in January, this is what everything costed, and then they came down again, and now things kind of going up a little bit again. I mean, they're all over, so again, if you're interested in something, just give me a call. The backup cameras installed. This is parts, labor, everything. This is out the door, okay? Well, not, I guess you got tax added, I think, when he brings it up. Slide toppers, they're sold in 6-inch increments. That's why you see that price range so much. Surge protection. This is hardware. Surge protectors. The vent covers there. I would do one Max Air 2 myself. That's what I would recommend. Because a Max Air 2 allows more airflow through it than a Max Air 1. You get twice the airflow, which is better for your camper in the end. But I would definitely recommend a vent cover. You can get tongue jacks and bike racks and all that stuff. Last couple things we offer here is a paint and fabric protection. Paint and fab, basically on the outside, it's a ceramic coating that's sprayed on. It protects your outside of your camper from any kind of paint or any kind of paint fade or sun damage, basically, is what it's protecting against. Your awning would get treated as well. Same thing, it's protected from any kind of sun damage on your awning. Makes washing them easier. Makes them look newer longer. It keeps them from bleaching out and all that. So inside, any vinyl, leather, fabric, or carpet gets treated. It puts a 5-year warranty from any kind of rips, tears, stains, or burns on any vinyl, leather, fabric, or carpet on the inside. So if you got kids or pets that go with you, it's a wonderful thing. Just keeps your camper makes it look newer, longer. And the last thing we offer here, and generally with the paint and fabric protection, if you roll that into your finance, you're talking like $15 to $20 a month difference on your payment. The last thing we talk about here, though, is your extended service contract. So that basically, when you buy this, or now that you're buying this, you get a 1-year manufacturer warranty with this unit. So after a year, you're on your own. And if you buy the extended, basically what happens is you're purchasing 6 additional years of coverage. They call it a 7-year warranty, but the first year is always done through the manufacturer. So you use up your manufacturer warranty first, then the extended kicks in. It covers all the major mechanical parts of your camper, from your furnace, fridge, air conditioning, water heater, water pump, all your LP system, water lines, fittings, tanks. You got electronic stabilizing jacks, I think would be covered under that. So it covers a lot of stuff. Slide motors, mechanisms. I mean, it's the mechanical parts of your camper covered under that warranty. There's 2 things I do like about it. One, it's prorated, so in 3 years you decide you didn't want it no more, you can cash that warranty out and get the difference back. The other cool thing is it covers a mobile service, so if you're more than 50 miles from here, I think it is, you can call a mobile guy up and he can service your camper while you're camping. So if you're, up in the UP and you can't get your slide room to come in, you call that mobile guy up in the area. He can come out and service your camper up there. You pay a $200 deductible, I believe he sets it up at, and that's it. And then he can fix your camper right there on site, so you don't have to worry about how you're going to get it home or whatever. You know what I mean? To me, it's definitely worth the money. It's covered nationwide in Canada, so if you plan on traveling anywhere, it's good to go. You're covered, so if something breaks it, Again, my name's Luke here at Hamilton RV. If you guys have any questions or any concerns, please give me a call at 989-752-6262. Congratulations on your purchase, guys, and have a wonderful day.